A tiny newborn baby, left in a shoebox at a fire station, with only a blanket and a note that said, "I love you." This is the unbelievable true story of Samuel Tyler, and how one desperate act of love led to a miracle that would change multiple lives forever. May 2022, Louisville, Kentucky. It was a quiet evening at the fire station when something extraordinary happened. Inside one of Kentucky's safe haven baby boxes, firefighters discovered a shoebox. But this wasn't just any shoebox. Inside, wrapped in a colorful blanket, was a newborn baby boy. He was only days old, tiny, vulnerable, alone. The baby box alarm had triggered, and within 2 minutes, trained firefighters carefully lifted the infant from the temperature-controlled incubator. His little body barely filled the shoebox, and tucked beside him was something that would break hearts across the nation. A handwritten note from his birth mother. She explained that she couldn't properly care for him, that she needed help. And at the bottom of that note, in her own handwriting, she wrote 3 words that would echo through this story. "I love you." But this story doesn't start at that fire station. It starts in a home across town, where Brittany Tyler, a 37-year-old foster parent, was scrolling through her phone. She and her husband Chris had been through years of heartbreak. Infertility had stolen their dream of having biological children, but they didn't give up on becoming parents. Instead, they opened their hearts and home to the most vulnerable children, medically fragile babies who needed specialized care. That evening, as Brittany scrolled through her newsfeed, she saw the headline. A baby had been surrendered at a local fire station. Her heart stopped. Something inside her stirred, a feeling she couldn't explain. "I started praying that he would be placed with us," Brittany would later recall, "but I didn't want to get my hopes up." She knew the odds. So many foster families hoped for a newborn baby, someone they could bond with from the very beginning, someone they could love and watch grow from day one. The chances of being chosen seemed impossible, but sometimes the impossible happens. Just days later, Brittany's phone rang. It was a social worker. Could they take another foster placement? Brittany's hands trembled. She shushed her husband's questions, and when she heard the words, tears streamed down her face. It was him, the baby from the fire station. He needed them. Chris and Brittany rushed to the hospital's neonatal intensive care unit. When they arrived, nothing could have prepared them for what they saw. The tiny baby boy weighed just over 3 pounds. He was so small, so fragile, struggling to survive in the NICU. But when Chris held that baby in his arms for the first time, he knew instantly. "This is my boy," Chris said, his voice thick with emotion. "This is the next member of our family." They named him Samuel. The name wasn't random. It carried deep meaning. In the Bible, Hannah was a barren woman who prayed desperately for a child. God answered her prayer and gave her Samuel. Just like Hannah, Brittany had prayed. And just like Hannah, her prayer was answered. Samuel's middle name was Ryan, after Brittany's late brother, who had been a firefighter. The same brave souls who had saved Samuel that night. For 2 weeks, Samuel fought to gain strength in the NICU. Brittany and Chris visited every day, holding him, talking to him, loving him. And when he was finally strong enough, they brought him home. But Samuel wasn't entering an empty house. He was joining a family. 2 brothers, Judah, age 8, and Calvin, age 5, who had also been adopted through foster care, waited eagerly to meet their new baby brother. The moment they saw Samuel, they were smitten. The 3 brothers became inseparable. "Everybody lives for Samuel's hugs," Brittany says with a smile. "He's such a cuddly kid." Outside the Tyler home, there's a doormat that perfectly captures their family. "Just so you know, there's a lot of kids here, and they wouldn't have it any other way." But Samuel's story was about more than just adoption. It was about honoring the woman who made the hardest decision of her life. Samuel's birth mother had loved him enough to choose life for him, even when she couldn't provide it herself. The Tylers never forgot that. They carefully preserved that handwritten note, saving it for Samuel to read when he's older. And that blanket? The one his birth mother had wrapped him in before placing him in that shoebox? Brittany had it transformed into something special. "I made it into a teddy bear," Brittany explains, her voice soft with emotion, "so that he always has a piece of her." Today, that teddy bear sits beside Samuel wherever he goes, a constant reminder of the woman who loved him first. The Tylers also made sure Samuel would always remember his origins. Just days after bringing him home from the hospital, they took him back to the fire station where he was found for newborn photos. The firefighters who had saved him held him proudly in their arms, and on his first birthday, they returned again for another photo shoot. The Louisville Fire Department considers Samuel part of their family. For 581 days, Brittany and Chris fostered Samuel. They watched him grow from a 3-pound preemie into an energetic, loving toddler. They celebrated every milestone: his first smile, his first word, his first steps. And through it all, they prayed for one thing: that they could keep him forever. On December 18, 2023, just before Christmas, that prayer was answered. In a Jefferson County courtroom, a judge made it official. Samuel Ryan Tyler was legally, permanently, forever part of the Tyler family. The adoption was finalized. Brittany cried tears of joy. "My prayers were answered," she said. "All I ever wanted was to be a mom." But their family wasn't done growing. The Tylers are already in the process of adopting another child, a baby girl they're currently fostering. And Samuel? He's obsessed with his new little sister, trying to pick her up like a baby doll, much to everyone's amusement. Today, Samuel is a thriving, happy little boy. He chases his big brothers with pirate swords. He slides down the roller coaster in their house. He's constantly asking for snacks because, as his mom says, he loves to eat. He's full of life, full of love, full of joy. Since Samuel's adoption, the Tylers have done countless media interviews to raise awareness about Kentucky's Safe Infant Act and the desperate need for more foster parents. Brittany has gathered articles and created a small book for Samuel, so he'll always know his story. The story of how he was chosen, how he was loved, how he was wanted. Lieutenant Colonel Bobby Cooper of the Louisville Fire Department says that while safe haven surrenders don't happen often, when they do, they save lives. Even if there's not a baby box, there are men and women on the other side of those walls inside firehouses that can accept that infant and get the child the care it needs, he explains. The Tylers want Samuel's birth mother to know something. They want her to know there's no judgment, only gratitude, only love. She cared for him, and she loved him, Chris says simply. God's hand is absolutely in this. This is an amazing story of grace being shown, from a loving mother to a little baby, and then to us as well. On the walls of the Tyler home hang large signs commemorating the adoption days of each of their children. They celebrate these days like birthdays, as anniversaries of the day their family became complete. 3 adoption days, 3 miracles, 3 children who were chosen, and it all started with a shoebox, a blanket, and a note that said, "I love you." Samuel's story reminds us that family isn't always about biology. It's about choice. It's about sacrifice. It's about courage. His birth mother's courage to choose life, the Tylers' courage to open their hearts, and Samuel's own courage to fight, survive, and thrive. Today, Samuel sleeps peacefully in his home, clutching that teddy bear made from his birth mother's blanket. He's surrounded by 2 big brothers who adore him, a little sister who follows him everywhere, and parents who prayed for him before they ever knew his name. He was left in a shoebox, but he was never unwanted. He was never unloved. He was always meant to be Samuel Ryan Tyler. He was always meant to be exactly where he is. This is the power of love. This is the power of family. This is the power of one desperate decision that saved a life and created a miracle. If this story touched your heart, follow Doe Parenting for more unforgettable family stories that prove love always finds a way. Subscribe to join our family of story lovers, because every child deserves to be chosen. Every family has a story worth telling, and every act of love changes the world. Hit that follow button and let's celebrate the beautiful, messy, miraculous journey of family together.